Today we're going to talk about a book where I am probably going to mispronounce all the names because I am not very good with Icelandic pronunciations. It is a short horror novella, and that book is Dead Weight by Hildur Knutsdottir. And I apologize if I'm saying that name wrong. We come into the book, and on like the first page, you get into how the main character, who is named Unur, or Unur, like I said, not quite sure how to say that, and about how she's always planned, or about how she's thought many times about how to get rid of a dead body. One time she brought this up at her workplace and everyone looked at her like, girl, what the F? She was like, oh, no one else has thought about this? Okay, okay. Insert foot and mouth. Guess I'm a weirdo. But you know what? In this book, it prepares her for what's to come in her future. She is a 33-year-old business analyst. She works for this company. She has some ideas and stuff about how they can grow and do better, this, that, and the other. One of the people who currently works there, he has been ill for a while, so she might be able to step up and possibly get that position if things go her way. So that's kind of like her work history and backstory. And one day she comes home and she finds a cat in her apartment, which is slightly odd. She's not really sure how it got in there. She's like, oh, well, one of the windows is open, so maybe that's how it got in. I don't know. She's like, hey, cat, I don't know, shoo, get out of my place. Get out of here. Get. And so she, opens the door, shoos the cat out, and to be done with it. But then, she goes out again, and she comes home, and then the cat is sitting at her door this time. Not inside, but it's outside. And she's like, okay, you're back again. What the heck? And then eventually this keeps happening, like the cat keeps showing up in the house and whatnot. So eventually she's like, all right, fine. And then she feeds it. And then she's like, maybe someone's missing this cat. And so she goes online and then she looks at, I can't remember if it was like Facebook or something with like the local neighborhood, whatever, of her missing cat. And she finds that, yes, this cat is someone's and they're missing and they don't live too far away. And the cat's name is Io, which is one of Jupiter's moons, in case you were wondering. She calls the person whose cat this is. The person's name is Asta. Asta comes over. She's like, oh my God. And she misses the cat so much. I can't remember if at first the cat comes back and has a kitten with it. But what happens is the cat ends up having a kitten and comes back and is at Unur's place, and Asta comes over and she's like, well, the cat just had a baby, so we can't really move it. If we do, she might abandon it. And she's like, is it okay if it stays here? Unur is like, no, I don't want this, this, that, and the other. She's like, I can pay you. And she's like, no. And finally she relents after she was like, no, I don't want this cat here. I don't want this. But she's like, all right, she doesn't want the cat to abandon its baby. And she's trying to figure out why the cat would have run away from Asta, because she seems so nice and she loves the cat, this, that, and the other. But then you start to hear about Asta's boyfriend. And then she comes over to visit the cat too a couple days a week, and then she brings food and she brings, litter and this, that, and the other, so that, Unur doesn't have to pay all the money for the cats because they're not hers. And as you get into this, you start to realize what a effed up relationship Asta is in. But also our main character is seeing a married man and she's the other woman. So you have these effed up relationships, and what it turns out is that it seems like the cat hates Asta's boyfriend, and it seems like he is a POS and possibly emotionally and physically abusive to her, and that at some point stuff might escalate where he finds out that Asta's coming over and seeing the cats, and he's pissed about that, and seems like maybe he wants to hurt the cat. The cat went and took its kitten and hid in the closet, and yeah, he is quite horrible. And then, I'm not going to say exactly what happens, but you can kind of imagine when you begin the book with how the main character always thought about how she'd dispose of a body. So maybe it comes to it where she has to dispose of a body. It is an awesome novella. It was captivating. It had a cat in it, which if you've been around the channel, you may know that I do love books with cats in them. I also like books with dogs in them. Animals in general. I like that. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it just adds another level of something that you relate to, something you connect to in a book. I mean, there's so many different reasons and things that we connect with in stories, which is why, Humans have always loved stories. What is it you connect with in them? Why do I love horror more than other genres? I don't know. I always feel like maybe the stakes are higher and that it's more emotional and maybe it means something more. But this is a fantastic horror novella. Like, it's really good from start to finish. It's short, it's sweet. You can knock it out in a couple hours if you like horror, if you like books with cats in them. Then I would say definitely check this out. Also, if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.